Okay, so we're back on here. Final third of this Romeo y Julieta, number 1. Tubo. Getting a little bit toasty here. Final third. Getting that tobacco-y taste. Very, very cottony, very tannic at this point. So one thing I wanted to say though about Tubos and Fonseca cigars. Fonseca's they don't have Tubos, but they have this wrap around them. So it's a little white tissue paper wrap. Well, any kind of cigars that come in some kind of a wrap, whether it be cedar wrap or an aluminum tube, or some are in a glass vial or a glass tube. You know, any kind of cigar that comes like that, before you smoke it, it's best to just take it out and let it sit, you know, out in the air for an hour at least before you smoke it. Okay? Otherwise, the cigar might be too humid. So it's a good idea. And in fact, you know, the tubos and all that, any cigar that comes in a tube or wrapped up in something, let it sit for an hour. But even the cigar, you know, straight out of your humidor, it's probably better to let it sit for a while. At least 30 minutes. Let it acclimate to the temperature or the humidity of the, you know, the outside environment. You don't ever want to smoke a high humid cigar. It's not going to be delicious. You know, and I went to a cigar bar last week, and I smoked a Cohiba Siglo number 2. You know, and the first half was alright, but the second half was shit. The burn was all fucked up. I mean, the cigar was terrible in the second half. A Cohiba. And, you know, I just said, I told the guy, you know, the guy that runs the place, I said, hey, you know, your humidor is way, way too high, you know. And I said, well, first I asked him, I knew his humidor was too high. And then I asked him, I said, what do you keep your humidity at in there? And he said, 72. I was like, and I told him, you're keeping it, it's about 10 percentage points too high. 65, 66, that's a better humidity, you know. 70 is too high. I mean, 72, it's a very, very humid cigar. Sweet, cottony. Yeah, still good though. I mean, very toasty, burnt, you know. But you know, it's just amazing to me. These La Casa del Habana, you know, they're commissioned by the Cuban government to have a humidor and sell cigars. And they keep their humidor at 72 fucking %, man. It's way too high. I mean, that's going to damage those cigars. They're not going to age properly at that high humidity. You want to age your cigars at 65%, maximum 68. He told me, well, customers here like wet cigars. I was like, what? Doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. Those are the customers like cigars with shitty burns and taste like grass and green. Okay. If you have your cigar, it's, if you smoke a cigar at 60% humidity or 55% humidity, that's going to be the most delicious humidity you want to smoke your cigar at. If you smoke it at 70% or even higher, oof, you're talking about green, grass, and a bad burn. You got too much water in your cigar. A little licorice, but bitter licorice. It's getting bitter here. We're down to the nub. The cigar is it's a tannic cigar, perfect for aging. We'll be aging these. Definitely, I would recommend you to buy, a couple of these tubes and stick them away in your humidor and age them long term. Being sealed, they're not totally sealed, but they're almost totally sealed, and they got a cedar in there, so that cedar regulates the humidity inside the tube, so the cigar is going to age quite nicely, even if your humidor gets a little dried out or something. So I want to talk a little bit before we close about duties that I have to pay for these goddamn cigars. I mean, the duties are just, in this country, they're outrageous. Okay? I'm talking about 100% tax on cigars. What? I mean, are these people nuts? The taxes that I'm paying already on all my other shit. They tax me on the food, they tax me on waste disposal, they tax me on my income, how much I work. The more I work, the more I get taxed. I mean, tax on healthcare, they tax on everything. Water, food, alcohol, cigars. It's all taxed. The government wants a piece of everything you do. Amazing. 100% for cigars in this country. Crazy. I found this awesome box of Por Larinagas. They were the Minsos. 2007, I believe. No, 2009 Asian Pacific release. Lonsdale's. I've been trying to get these cigars for years, and found online, this vendor was selling a box. They looked pretty legit. Contacted them. I ordered the thing, and then, I'm not getting paid in dollars. I'm getting paid in another currency, which is right now very weak to the dollar, and everything is priced in dollars. So that means I gotta pay extra. Right now, I think 30% extra. So the box was $600. Then I had to pay 30% extra on $600. It came out like $800. Then I'm gonna get charged probably $300-400 on taxes. So I just said, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to cancel this order. Taxes are too high. The dollar is, too much. So couldn't get what I wanted, but that's not really the point. I mean, that's life. You're never gonna get what you want all the time. My point is that it's a two-way street. I mean, the vendor's losing business. So what these countries, these governments are doing by taxing tobacco, cigars, pipe tobacco, so incredibly high tax, is they're going to destroy the industry, or they're going to weaken the industry. Vendors are losing business. That means that the tobacco farmers are losing business. It goes all the way back to the beginning. Smoking cigars is not dangerous, it's not unhealthy, it's very healthy actually. Many benefits of nicotine. They're going to kill the industry, so, I mean, there's no reason to tax cigars so high, except that, you know, you just, people that smoke cigars, they're middle class and they're high class, so there's a tax on the middle class right there as far as I'm concerned, which never going to be a good thing. Alright, well, my cigar went out. I was talking too much bullshit. I would definitely say that, you know, young cigar is not so complex. Pretty simple, pretty flavorful though. Nice taste, very creamy, sweet, little spice in the beginning, all that. For the money, very good. Aging wise, I would recommend that you would have at least, you know, a 5-pack of these tubos in your humidor for aging. I would say after 5-6 years, they're going to be very, very flavorful. And after 20 years, they're going to be amazing. Okay? So, that's what I would say about these. Definitely worth the money. Definitely worth a try. Alright, thanks.